Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me again today. This episode is based on Birmingham street news and also West Midlands. The breaking news story from last night. At 1:15 in the morning yesterday, there was a drive-by shooting in the Nechells area with what police say was a shotgun from a car window. Both men made their own way to hospital and received treatments for their wounds. The police said there was alerted after a 24-year-old man and a 28-year-old man presented themselves at hospital with gunshot injuries to their arm and back. Fortunately, they said the injuries are not serious and it's believed a firearm was discharged from a car near to Nechells Park Post Office at around 1:10 in the morning. So this would insinuate that there was no phone call initially to say it had happened, no ambulance turned up, and this second shooting happened just not even 24 hours before on Finch Road in Lozells, where two men aged also in their 20s were both shot in the leg. They're aged 22 and 26, and again these men took themselves to hospital. Police say the two incidents are not being treated as linked. So that's 4 people within 1 day that have been shot, all took themselves to hospital. So I'm not sure what the situation is with ambulance response times at the minute or even notifications of it, but that is ridiculous. Like, at the end of the day, these are serious firearm discharges. And from the footage that a reporter got from the scene, we can see that there's different cartridges that have been used in these shotguns. West Midlands Police have launched an investigation just to initially establish what happened and to confirm the cause of the injuries. 2 of them even left hospital themselves without actually receiving treatment. A concerned witness who works nearby, they said, told the newspaper they heard gunshots before spotting police tape off the street. And they said it was a bit strange, but they're very used to it working in the Lozells area. The buses in the local area were stopped from going down both of these roads after these shootings. So they really don't have a clue what's going on. So there's no arrests and no real idea of what actually happened because it was so quick. These shootings can be in an instant, and especially with a drive-by shooting, we don't really get as many as we used to get. In Birmingham, it's usually confrontations or house shootings. So a drive-by shooting is definitely similar to what we used to get a lot. And just outside of Birmingham in the Tipton area on the same day, a man was stabbed after a collision that involved a taxi. This taxi was left abandoned in the area. It happened on Park Lane East near Slater's Street Junction, and a knife was found after the attack at 1:20 in the afternoon on August the 10th. A 24-year-old man suffered leg injuries and was taken to hospital for further treatment, West Midlands Ambulance Service said. An image from passers-by captured the ambulances at the scene as blue and white tape blocked off the street. No arrests have been made in that investigation either. Other story in Tamworth, which is not far from Tipton, a young boy pointed at imitation firearm at a boxing coach across the road from him and threatened to shoot him. In shocking footage taken on the street, the boxing coach told the young boy, "Do you think you're a big man? What are you going to do? Shoot me." These are the words they said in the newspaper of the boxing coach who confronted the masked youth as he pointed a gun at him during an argument in a Tamworth street. 2 people were later arrested by police and a realistic looking BB pellet gun was recovered. Todd, who was 53 and was working on a roof in the local area, spotted the 2 young men walking down the street. They weren't wearing their masks and they were not acting normally, he said. They were fidgeting and walking straight for me. And an argument was started as they stopped next to him. He said they were staring at me. It continued for a while, and one of his friends who was on site came down and pushed him and told him to piss off after hearing the commotion. One of them started throwing his arms around at me. Being the boxing coach, I got into a stance just in case. He said to me, just you wait, just you wait. But Todd, who lived in Tamworth for 20 years, said the pair walked off down the road, and that was when one of them brandished a firearm and shouted, "Do you want me to shoot you?" But undeterred by the threats, the courageous worker, they said in the paper, but he then confronted them and said, what are you going to do, shoot me? He said he's been stabbed several times in his life. He said he's learned to deal with these kinds of situations. A dash cam footage was released showing the actual incident, and locals in the area spoke about their shock at it as well. Firearm officers from Staffordshire Police were deployed to the scene shortly after the incident was reported by a passerby. 2 suspects were arrested nearby. They have since been released under investigation. The gun in question was discovered and found to be a BB gun. Teamwork by officers from the Staffordshire Dog Unit resulted in the 2 arrests in the Wilmcote area of the city. The realistic BB gun was also found. It was reported that an argument had taken place, and firearms expert PC Pete Clark, he said these guns are used in many different ways and can be used often to rob and intimidate rivals in the area. So one story from this episode shows the reality of guns and people actually being shot, and the other one shows of how people can use pretend guns now to intimidate people, because you can never be sure. So I advise everybody to not try that at home. Do not try and confront anyone aiming a gun at you. So I really appreciate you joining me today, and I'll be back again very soon with some more news. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll be